Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be attempting to assemble Lottie, and I say attempting because I have never assembled a toddler before. This is my first time, and this is the first toddler I've ever made except for like the pickle kit, which I don't really count as a toddler because that's like more like a 6-month-old. I do have armatures, which again I have never done, and I actually had to get my husband to modify because they were slightly too long and I couldn't break them apart myself. But let's get into it. I'm going to show you every stage of the process and everything I'm thinking as I'm doing this. So let's see, is this the first and last time I ever make a toddler? So here we have the lovely Lottie that of course I made a little while ago now, but I've only literally just finished her. I did add some additional hair into her fringe because my mum just insisted that she needed more hair in the fringe, so that's what she's got, and then yesterday I glued that in. Okay, so I have her body here, and these are the armatures that I'm going to use. This was slightly longer, I had a couple more links in, but my husband took them out for me because I just felt like the spine was too long when I put it inside the body to test yesterday. So I'm going to start by putting her head to one side and thinking about how I'm going to tackle these limbs. So the armature obviously goes inside the body and then the limbs go on the armatures, but usually I fill my limbs up with weighting material and then stuffing. But I can't do that with these armatures. So I've been thinking about how I am going to do it, and I'm still going to weight the limbs a bit, but I think most of her weighting might end up being in her body. We're just gonna see what happens really. And if this goes terribly wrong, then I have no one to blame but myself, basically. I'm probably making this way harder for myself than I need to, and there's probably a much easier way to do this, but I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments, or if I had done literally any research. But you guys know I'm not really one to watch tutorials. I like to just figure things out on my own. So I am putting the skeleton into the body here. Now we have the skeleton in the body. This is her. You can kind of see if the spine had been longer, it was like stretching the body too much. So that's why I took a few of the links out. So let's try. I'm thinking if I actually use steel, then I'm not going to have to use very much. And I could really literally just fill up the feet and then stuff it. So I've bought new recycled steel discs, and this time, I don't know why, they seem to stick to everything. They're like really static. But basically, that is the foot filled, and I'll do the same on this side. I'm realising this is probably a really boring video for you guys to watch because I'm not really showing you anything you probably don't already know, but I'm learning, so if I make mistakes, you can learn from my mistakes. Remember to have regular hydration breaks, guys. Okay, so this I think will still go all the way down, but what I might do is add some stuffing, and I can get like a long pokey thing. Ooh, like a chopstick. Exactly like a chopstick. So I'm going to grab some stuffing, shove that down. That already feels really heavy, so I think that's not a bad thing that that's the way it is. I will cut most of this out, by the way, but just know when you're watching this, I spent a long time shoving stuffing down in with a chopstick. We're very professional here, you see. I'm going to add a little bit of weighting into the hands as well. I'm going to do the same thing as I've just done. And then this stuffing that I'm using is actually quite, I want to say almost harsh stuffing. Like it's not very soft. I don't use this for bodies, but I find it's really good for things like the limbs, things where you just need them to stay in place. So that still goes in there. Yeah, still fits. Same with this one. So that has filled up that hand, and then we get the stuffing on top. And our trusty chopstick, which isn't doing a bad job at all. It's just getting it around the limb is a little tricky, around the elbow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to shorten these limbs a little bit. Do I need to call my husband in? How long should these be, really? Probably need to take them, oh, okay, well, that's worked, and I need to take all of those off. Okay, really hoping that is good now, that to work as armatures they didn't need to be longer. We'll find out, I guess. I might do slightly similar with the bottoms and just take the off. Okay, now I have these. I don't know whether I should almost stuff this and then put the skeleton in, or stuff around the skeleton. I think I should probably stuff around the skeleton. Usually I put the limbs on first before I add any stuffing and weighting, but I just feel in this instance that that's not going to work. I'm going to need to stuff this first. I will add some weighting, like a little weighting pouch in here as well, I think. So before I completely stuff her, I will make that weighting pouch. You realise if you're even seeing this video, it means it's worked out. So not that you should necessarily follow what I do, but it's probably fine. We might do a sock for her. Body weighting. Again, using steel discs because they do take up the least amount of space. And they're so heavy, literally. I got a 20 kilo bag and it came, the size of it was about this big and it was 20 kilos. The poor delivery man was like, what is this? Because with toddlers, you want them to be like fairly realistic, but not too heavy, because one of my toddlers is too heavy and I never pick her up, I never change her. It's just impossible because she literally weighs so much. So I do want her to be like fairly realistic. That's feeling quite heavy. How much are you weighing? Nearly 3 pounds. Well, that's how much I weigh. I weighed like a little baby as recently, so I hope it's going to be enough for her. I don't want her to feel ridiculously light. I'll do one more scoop. I'm just trying to imagine like holding that for a toddler. I think it's still going to be too light. I'm adding another scoop. These still discs go everywhere, but at least I can get a little magnet and just hoover them up with my magnet. So making a knot, and then I'm going to flip this over on itself. This is so heavy it's hard to maneuver. Let's move back to the body, which at the moment is unweighted. I'm thinking I'm going to add the weighting kind of in the middle, so it's almost laying against the spine. I will make sure I've got a good layer of stuffing behind as well. I'll need to stuff the bum cheeks. I don't know why I was trying to do it with my left hand. So heavy it's like hard to maneuver. Now I can try and stuff the rest of this as much as possible. It's incredible how much stuffing these dolls take actually, because it compresses so much. You do have to add a lot in. Like, you think this is a lot of stuffing, and then when you put it in, that'll fill like one bum cheek. I don't know why I'm going from the top when I have easier access to the bum cheeks on the sides here. Here we go. And because she's a toddler, the firmer she's stuffed, the better, I think, because then hopefully she's more likely to sit up better. Because let's be honest, she wouldn't be lying down, so we will go firm on the stuffing. So lots of stuffing basically. This video is going to be an absolute nightmare for me to edit. So I've just turned her over and I'm making sure that weighting pouch is completely surrounded by stuffing. Don't want to be able to feel it at all, but at the same time the stuffing keeps trying to come out of the legs. And the chest area as well should be really well stuffed, because especially when they don't have a neck plate or a chest plate, this is where the head is going to stay upright from. Well, let's look at getting a leg on and how that would work. Getting some more of my chunky stuffing out. I'm thinking even if I don't like fully make it solid in there, so that can still go in. Yeah, so adding stuffing but making sure there's like enough space for that to go in. Okay, so that seems to work, and then I'll do the same here. So there is stuffing, but it's not like super compressed like I usually do, because you've got to get this in still. Is this going to be the last time I ever make a toddler, because this is so difficult? Or at least a toddler with armatures. I don't know why I decided to do armatures, honestly, with her. I'm not even sure she needs them. I've literally just made this harder for myself, haven't I? I have just made it harder for myself. I'm now realising that she probably didn't need armatures at all, because she's not standing. If she was standing, she probably would need armatures. Okay, I'm just going to tighten that a bit. She's going to be a little creaky. I hope that's not a problem. She's creaking. Okay, get that leg on, tighten it up. This is like a workout, honestly. See, that's why I wanted the armatures, so you could do things like put her arms up and then stay in position. Oh, look at that. Oh, she's working. Oh, it was all worth it. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay, other arm, bit of stuffing in. Come on, you can do it. You can get in there. Okay, okay. And she's a good weight. I think she's a good weight. Okay. A bit creaky. That's just her spine. Okay, gonna make sure she's got enough stuffing around the kind of shoulder area, upper back, because again, don't want to feel that armature or anything. And then, oh, she is a bit heavy. Maybe I've made her too heavy. No, it's fine. I'm not going to add any weighting to the head because I want it to really stay upright. So I'm just going to be stuffing the head. So I'll use my more solid stuffing. Again, so much stuffing goes into these, especially the head. You just don't realise how much it compresses. There we go. Not far off, I think, now. And her head does have some weight to it, because actually all of that stuffing, when it is compressed down, does have weight, plus the vinyl weight. Get in there. Now I don't want to put so much stuffing in that I distort the head. I think we're at the most exciting time where we're going to attempt to attach the head. She's so creaky. I'm hoping that's not a problem. So I'm going to be honest, I might have to do this off camera because I'm going to need her to be in a different position. So I'll be back. My goodness me, I have never struggled that much to get a head on the whole time I've been reborning. That was such a challenge. But the armatures seem to be working in that the arms go up and down. I am going to dress her up now and hopefully she will be done. So here she is all dressed up. I have put her in my childhood chair that I used when I was little, and the armatures do work, which is lovely, but I would say she's definitely more of a display doll than a cuddly one just because of the armatures. She does creak a bit when you move her, but maybe that will ease in time. I don't really know. I haven't done much with armatures before. But let me know what you think of her, and she will be available at the Basildon Doll Show in a couple of weeks.